It truly has been a while since I reacted to some anime. Okay, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. It was because I just kind of wanted to chill for a while and just watch anime and TV shows just like regularly without having to like worry about editing it later. I was feeling a little bit burnt out from editing all the time. Plus I was streaming a lot. So like literally last week I just did not even have the time to do a lot of editing. And you know, okay, so I think I did editing last week, but I didn't have time to do reactions, right? So and like I kind of got burnt out from all the editing, so I just kind of ended up just feeling like, hey, I haven't just watched an anime in a while. Let me just like binge. Let me just binge a whole anime, right? And I ended up binging Undead Murder Farce. If you haven't heard of it, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. It's like if you've heard of like what do you call it? Apothecary Diary, right? It's kind of like a detective show, right? Just think that. It's got similar elements to that. Combine that with I don't know, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or like Soul Eater, or like, you know, like they'll have like other characters from they'll have characters from like other works of fiction referenced in it, and also like real life even. They have like characters like Arsène Lupin is in it. You got Sherlock Holmes in it. You got Jack the Ripper in it. You got characters like Aleister Crowley, Professor Moriarty, right? It's like it's like a show that has like these characters in it, and like the main character is just like an immortal talking head, like a girl who's literally just a head, but she's immortal, so she can survive like that. And the main guy character is an oni, just like me. You know, probably is actually the main reason why I wanted to check out the show, because I wanted to see an anime with an oni in it. And it was a little bit of false advertising. He wasn't a true oni. He was an oni hybrid, but still, honestly, even as an oni hybrid, he's way more of an oni than I am in personality. Because yeah, he is ruthless when he wants to be. But a lot of the time he likes to make stupid jokes, which is actually kind of like me. So I actually do relate to him quite a bit. Anyway, enough of that. Gonna get into some Fruits Basket episode 5. Yeah, you got the grandfather's renovations are back. Now she can't. She has no reason to stay at this house where she had where she was about to enjoy a nice rom-com situation. Maybe they'll find a way to make it so that she can still be there. Or, I mean, this is way too interesting of a living situation, right? And how there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. They're gonna make it work. They gotta make it work. I don't know. How are they going to convince the grandfather to make it so that she doesn't have to live there? How can they justify it? I guess that's what this episode is going to be about. The relationship with her and the Somas, right? And they're probably going to find a way to justify why it's actually a good thing for her to live there as opposed to her grandfather. Or maybe something unforeseen is going to happen again that would make it impossible for her to move back to her grandfather's at this moment in time, right? Maybe more unexpected stuff happens, right? It's happened before, literally renovations, right? Maybe something like that happens, and this is all just a false alarm, right? But it got you thinking. It'll get you thinking about what could easily happen at any moment, right? This lovely little story can just be cut short so quickly and so easily, which is why you have to enjoy every moment you got in this in this fun little living arrangement that you got there, Tohru. And of course, she's focusing on cooking. Who is this? Wait. Oh, I was about to shit my pants there. What the heck? I was like, that transition was so damn smooth. I literally thought her mom just like walked in through the door as she was starting to cook in that Soma house. It was like, okay, at first I thought it was just like another Soma that we haven't yet discovered, like a female Soma. Or like, and then when I realized that was her mom, I was like, wait a minute. Like, why is Tohru acting so normal about seeing her mom after all these years? Hmm. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Tohru. You don't have to be so selfless all the time. That's a very, very low bar you're setting there, Tohru. So she's talking about it in regards to wanting to stay at the Somas is so basically her wanting to stay at the Soma house is her selfish desire, is what we're getting at here. Because there's a reason why Tohru all of a sudden remembered that memory specifically. She's starting to feel like she has a selfish desire that she wants to express, but naturally she doesn't have the ability to do that. She needs to work on asserting herself a little bit more, to prioritizing what she wants, right, over what she thinks would be best for everyone. And that's the important thing, because like what she thinks to be best for everyone is not exactly guaranteed to be what's best for everyone, right? This is just her perception, and we're getting a flawed perception from her because she automatically thinks that whatever. I'm getting the feeling that Tohru doesn't honestly believe that she deserves to be happy or something. I'm kind of getting those vibes a little bit from her. Not only is she like, does she have just like really poor self-image, poor self-esteem, I think not only that, but also even just like, I think I've mentioned poor self-worth as well. I get the sense that she does have these thoughts, that she doesn't really see herself as someone who deserves to be happy, which is a very sad thing to think about. That sucks for anybody. There's a lot of people who feel like that, who experience this same exact feeling that Tohru is going through, right? I don't know if it's something I've ever experienced. I've experienced less severe versions of that. It's hard to imagine, honestly, because, it's a very uncomfortable thing to think about. You know what I mean? Like, to think of yourself as, like, whatever makes you unhappy is actually what's good for everybody. I get, and I feel like that's something that kind of goes through her mind a bit, just especially with that statement back there, right? Like her response to her mom saying it's okay to be selfish, it's okay to just prioritize yourself sometimes. Tohru's response is, well, maybe me moving to grandpa's is what's best for everyone. She's not even taking what she wants into the equation. It's not even something that crosses her mind. Her own wants, and desires and selfish, things that she selfishly wants. She doesn't think about it at all, right? There are some people who think about it too much, obviously, right? That's a problem. But Tohru doesn't seem to think about it at all. Like, being selfless is a good trait, but I guess Tohru is an example of when you take selflessness too far, and also becomes kind of a problem for the people who care about Tohru, right? Because they want to see her happy, but she also doesn't believe that she should be happy. that becomes a conflict in itself. I didn't mean for this whole thing to get as long as it did. You can draw a lot of things just from small statements like this. Like, right, just she says, just this is like 1 minute in, and I'm dedicating like 10 minutes to like a throwaway line even. But I feel like in a show like Fruits Basket, even a throwaway line like that is very telling. There's a lot of complicated stuff that go into what would make a person say such things. I really do feel bad for Tohru. I hope that by the end of this show, obviously you got the whole love triangle thing going on. But I hope by the end of the show, Tohru, I hope she learns to love herself a little bit more. That's what I want for Tohru the most. And I obviously that goes for everybody, Kyo and Yuki as well. The thing about Tohru is, for Yuki and Kyo are lucky that Tohru is there to provide them a perspective to allow them to love themselves. But from what I'm seeing so far, right, she does not have a person like herself that is there to show her and like directly tell her, hey, Tohru, you have really good points that you seem to not recognize in yourself. And I want you to feel like you deserve happiness, you deserve like to feel good about yourself, all that stuff. I don't think, I'm starting to realize she doesn't really have anyone like that for her. She's just that person for everybody else. I didn't mean to talk through that whole intro. I'm gonna have to mute that because of copyright. But man, that is like a little bit of a realization, right? Like, maybe I mentioned it in a past video. I feel like I'm just realizing this. Yeah, Tohru doesn't have that for herself. I think like Kyo and Yuki each can do that a little bit, right? And I guess if they both, with their true power, right? Like they, once they unlock a certain level of self-esteem, once they get their own shit figured out for themselves, maybe they will both be able to help Tohru feel better about herself. I don't think Kyo or Yuki individually would be able to do that for Tohru, because I think the stuff that Tohru is going through is probably I suspect it's on a whole different level than the kind of shit that Kyo and Yuki is going through. She lived in a fucking tent, for God's sakes, okay? You can't, that should not be understated, okay? I know it was like a funny little joke in the beginning of the show, right? Like, oh, like Shigure is like laughing at her and it's all jokes and shit. But like, you really got to think about like how fucking crazy of a situation, where Tohru doesn't even feel good about like asking her. She has friends. She has two really good friends who when I see them, I 100% believe that they would they would definitely take her in. They dote on her a lot, right? But she doesn't even feel comfortable asking them, imposing on them even a little bit. Like, she'd rather live in a tent than ask them for help. There's something crazy about that. There's something like, there's something we're not seeing here. I feel like there's something we're not seeing here. I'm not seeing a full picture of Tohru, because that level of like self-deprecation, I feel like it has to come from something major that we have not seen yet, because we're too busy focusing on Kyo and Yuki at the moment. And I think about it, other than like the situation with Tohru's mom, like what happened to her, right? We don't know, like, other than like finding out about like how Tohru's mom died, and how the fact that like none of the family that's another thing. None of the family wanted to take her in. That probably played a factor in it too. Yeah, like there's probably even more that we haven't seen, because even that, like, I still feel like doesn't explain just we haven't seen it, but I suspect she hates herself a little bit. Like a little bit of self-hatred here, but she doesn't show it. I feel like she doesn't show it because she doesn't want to burden anybody with her negative emotions, Yeah, look at that. She's about to leave, and the only thing she can think about is like helping them. But then again, that's just how some people are. They're just like, they want to take care of others. Even I don't think that has to be a self-esteem thing. Yeah, that's true.
じゃあ
Nobody wants to express how they truly feel. Aww, everybody's such a teenager. I'm gonna take a sip of some water.
私はやっぱりどこか泣けてますね。
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You can see a little bit of the self-hatred there.
レクリエーションフルーツバスケットをして遊びましょう。
Hold on. Are we actually? Hold on, what?
レクリエーシ
Furutsu Basketto. We're finally gonna know.
ョンフル
We're gonna finally know what's up with the title of Fruits Basket. Oh, I didn't think we'd actually get an answer to this question in the anime. I thought it'd be one of those things that like the author would like mention, you know, like at the as an excerpt or something, like some kind of like oh, author's note by the end of the book or something. Fruits Basket means blah blah blah. So we're actually seeing. So it actually does mean something in the anime.
それも意地悪の一つだったのでしょう。でも私は
Why?
おにぎり美味しそうです。
Wait, how is that supposed to be an
おにぎり
insult?
と呼ばれるのを待った私。
I see. Because it's not fruit, so she can't be in the
ひた
fruits
すら待った
basket.
私。手が足りない
Hold on, I need to go back in there. Did they explain the rules? I don't remember them explaining the rules. Everyone's a fruit,
梨、桃、ホンダはおにぎり。
except for Tohru.
男子に意地悪されることが多くて、それも意地悪の一つだったのでしょう。でも私は
Yeah.
おにぎり美味しそうです。よし、行くぞ。
Wow. Even back then, even as a child, she didn't want to stand up for herself. Takes it all in stride. I mean, that kind of thing does have is its own form of strength. But when you let it get to a point where you just never stand up for yourself or whatever, then it just kind of is a little bit she's just like taking it all in stride, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think I need to see more. I guess the point of the fruits
お
basket
にぎりと呼ばれるのを
aspect
待った
is
私。
yeah, I guess Tohru just like is used to being excluded from things, right? And she doesn't seem to have a good concept as to why. Like from her perspective, it's happening for like no good reason. Maybe there was a reason, but you know, we're not given, we don't have any insight into that, right? So as far as we all know, anyone who's like, you know, anyone who would be watching up to this point, it just seems like that just you know, those kids are just being plain mean to her for like no good reason. I kind of wonder about that because that seems to be happening to her at school as well, in high school as well. So I wonder if she has like, you know, that now that we have like, we've basically kind of I mean, we've kind of been established that the somas have a curse, right? The somas are cursed. That's why they turn into that's why they turn into animals, and you know, whenever they touch the opposite sex, right? And it seems to happen with every generation. It wouldn't be that much of a stretch to say that Tohru also has a bit of a curse herself. It might not be the same curse as the one that affect the somas, but yeah, maybe Tohru is also cursed, right? Just cursed for that, like, I don't know, maybe she just kind of like has some kind of like cursed like spirit that's constantly following her around, that, you know, invokes bad vibes around everyone that like she comes into contact with, and for some reason people with certain kinds of people. Probably, like, I guess you can say, uh, like, mm, certain kinds of people with like uh who are more like sheep-like. So people who are a little bit more like sheep, who are a little sheep-like, right? Um, maybe they're off-put by her for like, because of like, they're sensing like the vibes of a curse coming from her, right? And it makes them want to like bully her, or like not be nice to her, right? And only people with like, who have like, I guess, who are a little bit more strong-willed, maybe, are able to like uh resist being mean to her. I don't know, like it seems like everybody, it just feels like everybody who isn't the main character just kind of doesn't like Tohru for like no real reason. I feel like the only way that makes sense to me is that she has a curse as well, right? Otherwise she's just a girl that's just like constantly tortured by the world for no good reason. Um, and I don't know if I would agree with that type of writing. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than that. So she's back with her real family, but like they're not. I guess they're not super welcoming to her. Hmm. Yeah.
十二支の猫が好きだったんです。
Hmm.
猫年になりたかったんです。
See, yeah, just like look at what's happening here. Like, okay, so like, we're getting Yuki and Kyo, who previously absolutely hated themselves, right? Like, they didn't see, like, whatever positives they had, right? Like, from like a third person perspective, they each have good qualities. For some reason, they are not able to see those qualities in themselves. But like Tohru is like the first person to even give them the perspective of, hey, maybe it's okay to like myself for like these things that I thought I hated myself for, right? Like, Tohru offered another perspective. And again, like, it doesn't seem like Tohru has anyone like that in her life who's able to do that for her. And I guess the first time with Kyo and Yuki, right? They kind of threw it back at her, right? Like, they're like, hey, you also have some good points yourself, right? And they both said that in their own ways, right? But I wonder if Toru's issues are so deep seated that it takes a little bit more than that, to get through to her. Like some form of genuine love, right? Like not necessarily romantic, but like receiving some form of love from like another person, and a person who is like allowing you to love yourself.
せっかく大きな家に移ったのに、なんで部屋を一緒に使わなきゃいけないわけ？
Oh my god, this is her family, huh?
どうかしましたか？
こういうことは早めに話しておいた方がいいと
Oh,
思って。
what now? What is
トー
this?
ルちゃん、あなた今まで男の人の家にいたそうね。更新所で調べてもらったの。
嘘、どうせやる。設定
What
私
the
の方が進んでる
fuck?
と思ったのに。更新所なんて。わざわざ
What the fuck? What is their issue? Like, okay, they, in one step they don't want anything to do with her, but at the same step they're like prying into her like everything about her life now. It's like a fucking private detective that costs money. How much money do they have? Can they actually honestly like afford to do that for like why even do that? Why even do that? Like, it'd be one thing if they actually, cared about her and they were worried or something, but like, clearly that doesn't seem to be the case. So why?
うちの長男ね、警察官になるのが夢なの。だから身内に前科がつくような人間がいると困るのよ。
Criminal record, live-in
更
girlfriend?
新所なんてオーバーかなって思ったんだけど。
Yeah, I think it is.
昔は相当荒れてたそうだし。ほら、カエルの子はカエルって言うし。
Fuck these people. Fuck all of them. They're all okay. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to yeah, I'm starting to see where Tohru's self-hatred is coming from. I think it goes further than this even. I'm pretty sure it goes even further than this because like this is stuff like we already know that like Tohru's like extended family are all kind of just like they don't give a shit about her, not really, right? They let her live in a fucking tent for fuck's sake, right? Like I know they probably didn't know, right? But they put her in a situation where she felt like that had to be her only option, right? They wherever they were during the renovations, they could have easily let her stay with them, I feel like, but no, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find some friends and let me live with them or something, right? I don't know. That's fucked up. These people suck. These people suck. I already hate them. But it's like another situation. It's like, why? Okay, I guess. Okay, this doesn't feel like. Now, this situation doesn't feel like, they just hate her for no reason. They seem to have an issue with her mom, right? Apparently, she was violent, and I guess her mom kind of fucked things up for her. I guess a little bit. I guess she wasn't interesting. We don't because like from Tohru's perspective, we don't hear about this kind of shit. And now this is like the first time we heard about how her mom seems to be a bit of a delinquent. Enough for the fact that they have to fucking hire a fucking detective to look into who she was staying with.
ちゃんさ、その家の人たちにいかがわしいこととか
Why is he smiling like
され
that?
なかった。
Huh? Oh, let's go, Grandpa.
お前らは人を愚弄することしか知らんのか。
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah, Grandpa. Oh my God.
根が嫌な奴らなだけな
Oh
ん
my
じゃ。
God. Thank fucking God for Grandpa.
ちょっとくらい嫌なこと言われても我慢で
Oh my God.
でもただ京子さんに我慢は似合わんと思うだけだよ。
He keeps thinking she's Kyoko. Oh yeah, her
この家
dad.
はもし他に行きたいところがあるなら行ってもいいんだよ。
Does he have like dementia? Or is he senile?
相馬くんたちに優しくしても
Oh
ら
my
いたい
God. So like, okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this because this video is already gonna be long. But like, I don't know if I mentioned this for Fruits Basket, but I have talked about it in my Life is Strange before the storm streams, where Tohru and Chloe have a similar situation where they both have a deceased parent, right? They have a parent that's dead. And they both have very strong feelings toward their dead parent, right? Obviously, they're both young. But they both do this thing. They're both doing this thing where their memory of their dead parent is of them being absolutely perfect, right? From everything we've seen from Tohru's perspective, her mom was perfect, but like this is the first time we've actually seen another perspective of her mom from like someone else who knew her, right? That being her extended family. They are definitely super mean. They are fucking assholes. But maybe there might be some truth to the fact that Tohru's mom had issues, right? Like she was apparently super violent, right? Maybe there was some truth to that. And like Tohru doesn't even like acknowledge that even a little bit, right? She hasn't mentioned it. All of her memories have been of her being like the perfect mom. Maybe her mom died before she even got to witness her imperfections, or before she was even mature enough to perceive of how flawed her mom was, or maybe she refuses to see how flawed her mom was because she's now dead, something like that. I feel like that's gonna come into play because she really hypes up her mom a lot in her memories, and like now I'm starting to see a little bit of like I'm starting to see some cracks in that perfect image of her mom. Wow, yeah, it was like probably the first time she was in a home with like other people who actually are nice to her. Because everyone's such a fucking asshole to her for seemingly no reason. Yeah, I kind of get it. It's not even just the fact that she's living with such dreamy love interests. It's just the fact that they're actually nice to her and make her feel welcome. It is selfish, but there's nothing wrong with being a little bit selfish. Everybody is. At least a little bit selfish. Let's go, Yuki! This is not a figment of her imagination, is it? Let's go, Yuki. I know Yuki's got the powers, alright? He's got like plus 10 in charisma, okay? Right? I don't think it's normal. Maybe it's normal for your family. You're right. Time for fights. Time for another fight where Kyo just loses instantly. They're only fighting and they're angry because they care about Tohru. Aww. So he's gonna turn into a rat, sneak into the house, and then pop out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The question is, how did he, if he actually did transform into a rat and then like transform back into a human, how did he end up with his clothes? What's he doing? On a whim? Sure, on a whim. Yeah, Yuki beat you to it. Let's go, Kyo! Yeah, that's right. This is not a proper Fruits Basket episode without Kyo taking an absolute L at even the smallest confrontation. Is Kyo ever gonna get a W? Is he ever gonna get a W in any fights ever? Like with a Soma? Right? And like I'm sure Kyo can fight like maybe a random person on the street, but you know, is he ever gonna win against a Soma? Is he ever gonna win against like Kagura, Yuki? I don't know, like kind of like in some form come out on top, you know? Instead of like I guess the closest we ever got, he blocked Kagura's like kick or something or punch, and then she immediately beat him up right after. Kyo. I saw a comment in my last video that Kyo was done dirty when it comes to the fights in this anime, and I am really seeing it. I am really seeing it. He has definitely been done dirty. Like, I would like it if I ever see him. I would like it if I ever saw him like won any kind of fight. Like with anybody. It doesn't even have to be with a Soma. I don't think I've ever seen him win a fight in general. He just comes off as like, I trained like in the peak of the mountains, and like I meditated under the waterfalls, and like I spent 4 months like punching bears and getting into wrestling fights with the mountain lions, and he comes back, gets bodied instantly. It's like, bro, are you supposed to come off as a joke? Ah. Nice. Using the old noggin there, Yuki. Good job, bro.
頼もう
Classic yo, classic yo. Oh, they heard this part? They heard this part?
その家の人たちにいかがわしいこととかされなかった。
おじいちゃん
Yeah, I don't mind seeing that again. Fuck that dude. That's gonna make an awful cop. That mom is even worse. Jesus Christ, she's like enabling him. Like the mom is like, oh, like I thought it was a little excessive, but you know, your mom was violent, and apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, right? Like, yeah, I guess so, because you're an awful person, your son's an awful person, your daughter's an awful person. Yeah, I guess what you're saying might be true, but maybe look in the mirror too at the same time, huh? Maybe you're projecting a little bit there, fucking bitch. I don't think she actually wants this. If you pay attention to Tohru, she has a tendency to like shoulder a lot of burdens on her own, just because she doesn't feel like she deserves anything good to happen in her life. I do get how she feels, though. I get how she feels, but like that sense of gratitude is very mature, and I feel like any normal person would be able to appreciate that as like a sign of a strong character, a sign of strong character, right? You should, like these people, like all these people except for the grandpa's cool. Everybody in this room seeing that should be like their reaction should be, wow, like, this is a person that like does not take her situation for granted. Maybe we should respect that, right? Maybe, we shouldn't treat her like a piece of shit because like she's actually, does appreciate that, we are doing, like having like just like having a family, like a whole family member just move into a house that doesn't have enough rooms for her, right? That is a burden. That is like, it is, but they should at least like, they shouldn't like rub it in her face that it is, right? Like, because she definitely acknowledges it. I feel like the only time you ever like have that attitude where you want to make sure that she knows like, hey, like you're kind of imposing on us here, is if she was kind of like had the attitude like she didn't care, right? But like she obviously does. She's definitely grateful, right? And they don't give a shit about how grateful she is, because they're fucking assholes. So fuck them. Like, you're all so horrible that she'd rather stay with these like people that she's only known for like what, like a few weeks. How did he do that? Wait, does he think that Yuki's a girl? Or is he gay? Which one is it? I am so confused by all of this. Like, all the guys specifically that react to Yuki that way. It happens. This is the second time that's happened. This is like, I'm starting to sense a pattern. Like, when guys react to Yuki that way, do they just think that he's like a hot girl, or are they actually just like questioning are they like becoming gay or something? Are they finding out about themselves in the presence of such a flawless, I guess, I don't know, does Yuki count as a femboy? I don't know.
鍵が開いていたので勝手に入らせていただきました。本田さんの荷物は上ですか?
Abducted your cousin. We'll treat her better than you do, because you're all pretty terrible people.
ということは男の子?
Okay. He thought thought Yuki was a girl. What the fuck, bro? Like, look at how the man is dressed. He's wearing boy clothes, right? That's that's not how a girl dresses. Come on, man. You're gonna make an awful cop. You can't even like you can't even tell that Yuki is clearly presenting as a guy. I don't know. This is so funny. Yeah, kick his ass, Yuki. Yeah, they care. The feeling is mutual. It's not one-sided for once, Tohru.
わがまま言ってもいいんじゃねえの
Yeah. Yeah, tell her,
毎
Kyo.
日毎日言われると頭くるけどなでもお前の場合
Yeah, you never ask for anything
たまには
selfish.
弱音吐いたってわがまま言ったっていいんだよめげたっていいんだよ
でもいいんだよ
You gotta
たまには
You gotta balance it out. You gotta balance it out. Oh, she's having her moment.
なんだどうしたなぜに泣く
And once again, okay, like I'm gonna have my obligatory my shipping prediction moment, and I do feel like Kyo definitely is really good at like helping Tohru with these thoughts, right? Like he's really good at like getting this message through to her. He does that pretty well, right? And pretty consistently too, because like Yuki, I feel like he has a hard time expressing his honest feelings sometimes. I think that's what makes it, and I think that makes it a little bit difficult for like him to be the person to tell Tohru these things. But Kyo, he's the kind of guy that just speaks his mind, right? So like, yeah, I definitely feel like Kyo is like just for that fact, I feel like he automatically is kind of like a better match for someone like Tohru, at least in this stage. Maybe once we see a little bit of character development through with like all three characters, maybe my opinion will change. But like at this stage, it really does seem like it's all leaning towards Kyo pretty consistently. Haven't seen a change yet, so I have no reason to change my opinion on that. Like, look how he is able to just get through to her like that, right? I mean, obviously it was a team effort, but like, like yeah, I can't forget about Yuki. Aww. Like those kids wouldn't pick the rice ball, but these two would. Am I gay? What? This truly is. This anime truly is a product of the 90s. Is this the 90s or 2000s? Early 2000s. I feel like this was a 90s. This was a 90s story. I think this takes place in the 90s. In 2024, people tend to be in 2024 people tend to be all like it's okay if he's a boy. I feel like I see that more often these days. This conflict is the inner conflict of mistaking a guy for a hot chick. That is definitely a product of its time. He's having such a fucking existential crisis right there.
それにしても
あんなに取り乱してるユキ君は初めて見ましたよ。別に取り乱してなんか。はいよ。嘘つけ。エレンタラタラの顔してたくせによ。それはお前だ。
Damn, twice in one
こんな
episode.
家だけどよろしくね、トール君。
Oh, that's nice.
やれるもんならやってみな。
というわけで私は
Okay, so I guess that's one good way to justify her living with the Somas. Show the fact that her real family are all a bunch of shitheads. I guess that's as good a reason as you can possibly get. You know, to justify her living in a house full of, like, you know, not strangers at this point, but like people who just like are not related to her in any way. But goddamn, do they like treat her better than like her fucking family for some reason? Like for some reason, they're all shitty. What caused that? Why are there so many people in this story that are just like mean for no reason? I wonder why that is. Because, like, okay, I was wondering if it was, I theorized earlier, like, in this very video, that it was like, oh, what if Tohru is cursed or something, but, like, now I'm wondering, because, like, she, apparently they treat her dad like, apparently they treat her grandpa like this as well. They all, like, are super mean to the grandpa, even, for some reason. If I had any complaints about Fruits Basket, that'd be the one thing. My one complaint about Fruits Basket so far, everything is good so far. Except for one thing, and I just don't like how there are so many characters that are so nasty and cruel and mean for no reason, and it shows up so often, right? And it doesn't really seem to serve any purpose other than to get sympathy from the viewer. That is my hot take for the show so far. That is my hot take. Everything else seems to be fine though. I don't think that thing alone is enough for me to, you know, say that like Fruits Basket is even like, you know, I think I think Fruits Basket is pretty good so far. All right, right? I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's bad. I don't even think it's mid, right? Like I think it's pretty good so far. But like, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect anime. I don't think so. Yeah. If I had to complain about anything, it'd be that. Like, I prefer a little bit more motivation as to why people are being mean to her. Very, very cute, very cute, very happy for Tohru right there. Nice little happy ending to the episode. Got to see Tohru smiling genuinely. You got to see her like find a home, like a real home for once, where she feels welcome, where she feels loved. That's good. I'm happy that like they managed to at least clear the air on that, right? Because like I think that is something that has kind of been eating up at Tohru, because she automatically thinks that she's a burden on everybody, right? I think it's good that Yuki and Kyo make it explicitly clear that not only is she welcome at in their home, they actually want her to be there because, you know, because they genuinely just don't like the idea of her living with like such awful people, right? And then like and you know, like not only that, but they actually love having her around. I think like I don't think it's romantic love yet, maybe a little bit, right? But I think they do care about her, right? Like as a friend. I think they love her as a friend so far. I think that's 100%. It's like they love her as a friend 100%, but like, but we're also getting kind of like, you know, there's like a little bit of low key. The romantic aspect is kind of starting to come up just a little bit. Obviously, like you would expect this to end up being like ending up in like, this is, you know, classified as a romance anime, but like we're seeing a foundation for that romance. This I'm guessing I'm seeing what I'm seeing is that the author wants to set this up as like, this is going to be a romance anime, clearly, but there is she wants to set up a context for the romance to start from. She wants it to be more than just like attraction and, you know, like just like, oh, it's like a cute girl, oh, that's a cute guy, and like, you know, and oh, that's another cute guy or whatever, right? You know, from Tohru's perspective, right? Like it's not just that. She wants to set it up in such a way that these characters feel like such strong love for each other, such that these characters would have a hard time envisioning a life without the other, right? Like, you know, in the case of Kyo and Yuki, they feel that towards, they would eventually feel that towards Tohru, and Tohru would eventually feel that towards both of them. But like eventually, when we get to the romance aspect, she's going to have to choose one of them, right? Because I don't think, because with Kyo and Yuki, I don't know. I don't think they'd be open to a polyamorous relationship. Because there's one thing we can be certain. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Kyo and Yuki, they are like water and oil, right? They do not mix. But which is why, yeah, definitely Tohru's gonna have to choose, and that's gonna make things harder. Like especially once they grow to be so essential to each other's lives. That's pretty much all I got for this reaction. I don't really have too much. I feel like I said enough. I feel like I've said more than enough. I'm gonna have to edit this a lot, but I think it's still gonna be. This is gonna be like maybe at least a 40-minute episode, a 40-minute video, because I have a lot to say about these things. Fruits Basket is not something I can just watch and react to like big hype moments or anything like that. There are definitely those kind of moments, but like I don't know if it's I think I do a disservice by not like expressing my thoughts on even all the little stuff that happens in this kind of a show, because this show has a lot of depth. I'm really seeing it just in each episode, and even in the beginning. It's really setting up a lot of stuff, and I feel like there's like, it's just telling us just enough to keep to give us like something to theorize on, speculate on, and like enough just to make these characters make sense, right? But there's also the author, she's also like leaving out a lot of key details, I feel like, that would give me a little bit more perspective on why these characters feel as strongly as they do about themselves, about the other people, mostly about themselves, because I feel like these characters have a lot of strong feelings about themselves, like negative feelings. You know, like these characters all seem to hate themselves very deeply, and I don't think we've gotten a little bit of context as to why, but I don't think it's enough to explain the level, the intensity of which I'm seeing it. Anyway, that's all I got so far. I hope you liked the video. Hope you liked my analysis, my thoughts, my predictions of Fruits Basket so far. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any thoughts of your own about what I've been saying. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you already know Fruits Basket. You already know what's about to happen. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, let me know what you think of my thoughts. Obviously, please avoid spoilers. Like I read all the comments in my anime reactions. I'm always interested to see what y'all have to say. Like, please hit the like button if you made it this far. If you also and hit the subscribe button. I hope that I'm not going to take as long to upload my next Fruits Basket reaction as this one did. I'm hoping I get a little bit faster when it comes to editing. It's always a struggle because I'm always like coming up with like new ways to like edit my videos, and every time I try something new, the process takes longer, and then I get faster at that new process, but then I might edit a little bit differently next time, and then trying that out, that new technique will like speed things will slow things down for a bit, just trying to learn it and whatever. But yeah, hopefully I'll get the next episode out within a few days from now, because I really want to know what happens next. Okay, oh my god, because I just want to watch, I just want to binge the whole thing, but like I also want to get my reactions to this too, because I think it makes for interesting content. But yeah.